Hello and welcome to this week's episode of So Fired. I'm Chelsea Toronto.
I'm Dr. Lindsay Regier.
And welcome. Each week on So Fired, we repackage the shitty and turn it into pretty. Woo!
And we share all of our issues because, we have one. And this week, we're doing Threads podcast edition. And if you don't know what Threads are, it's just streams of thought.
It's a thought dump. Otherwise known as just one of our conversations throughout the day. So let's hit it.
Do you have a So Fired?
I did, and I forgot it.
Oh.
Nope, I temporarily forgot it.
Okay, I'll tell you my So Fired.
Please.
So for the past, 6 months or so, I've had a squirrel's nest living in my hair.
What do you mean by that, Lindsay?
There was a red squirrel. There's like a squirrel tail that was colored.
Okay, so let's give a very... I want to post the video that I took, but I don't think that's fair. So one of Lindsay's extensions that has been sewn into her head, somehow one particular section in the back of her head there was maybe a glaze or a toner, and it caught in this particular section, maybe about 4 or 5. Well, actually, it was the whole section.
It's the whole section.
So maybe the 12 inches that wrapped from like corner to head had like bleached, like turned orange.
Yeah.
Like a fox tail.
Mm-hmm.
A red fox tail.
Red fox tail.
But it was sandwiched under Lindsay's hair. So you couldn't see it unless you got lucky. Because it was like
unless the wind blew in the right direction.
Or if it was a greasy hair day.
Yeah.
Okay, go on.
So it's been living there. And
how long's it been there?
A while.
Yeah.
And it's kind of ratty too. Like where the extension is tied in.
Yeah.
Hot mess express. So I finally got my hair done.
Yeah, you look great.
And it's a nice milk chocolate brown. And I feel like a whole new person. And you know what's even more so fire about it is that, usually when you go from a color of a hair to a new color of a hair, everyone's like, oh my God, your hair. No, literally like 2 people said something. No one noticed.
Isn't that great?
Yeah.
At this point in my life, don't notice. What's really fire about this is I was trying to convince you to get your goddamn hair done. What is wrong with you? I know that we were like, but if cost is the same across the board, because sometimes getting the hair done can be extraordinarily expensive and painful. And if there's a cheaper option, sometimes you'll consider it. But if price is the same based on the 2 options, why was I still having to convince you to get your hair done? I was like, Lindsay. And I was saying it in the most Lindsay gentle way, Wisconsin, Midwestern, like, girl, you need to get your shit fixed. I was like, you might feel refreshed. You might feel rejuvenated. I didn't know how many different ways to be like.
I was just nervous. And also, since I can't particularly see the squirrel's nest every single day.
But the whole thing.
I mean, the whole thing needed like a touch up. Because then I was like, well, I'm going to wait until
your head dunked into a vat of color to come out fresh.
This is why I was like, well, I'm waiting for my new extensions to come in. Because then I want to match it with this color. I'm like, why do I want to do color and then color again? And then, it was just a thing.
Sometimes.
I couldn't get the schedule right.
But you sure did. And you look fantastic. You look fresh.
I look freshy fresh. I put on my makeup today and I was like, damn, I look good.
Good. I'm glad that you feel that way because we've had a season for a minute where we were like, nothing is going to make this better.
I know.
Do you have issues?
I do have issues. My issue is that I feel like I've just been like bamboozled and brainwashed into being a hashtag girl boss because now on TikTok, the trend with all the Gen Zers is that you want to be a lazy girl and have a lazy girl job.
Like a hostess?
No, even easier.
Like what?
Like a marketing associate or like a customer service representative.
I love this generation. You guys are the shit.
Woo woo. I know. And I'm like, why wasn't I born younger?
You don't have to be born younger. You just have to identify as younger, such as myself.
I know.
I'm a younger identifier.
So it's all these girls that have like a pretty decent salary and you work like your 8 hours a day. You don't talk to anybody. You just kind of like answer emails. You can watch TV. You can go run some errands.
That sounds literally the worst for me.
Yeah.
I wouldn't like being isolated.
I don't want to be isolated.
I do want to mail it in and do the bare minimum in life.
Yeah, these girls are doing like beyond the bare minimum. like below bare minimum.
Well, they're still getting paid.
I know.
But what's, who's to define what the minimum is? Like, I found myself wrestling with this while hiking. Like, what's wrong with me being a hostess? Like, by whose standards?
I know. We've been brainwashed.
We really have
Yeah.
been.
And now like, my issue is like, why is this just coming around now? Couldn't we have been like lazy girls earlier?
But here's the thing. You
Yeah.
can still be a lazy girl.
I
It's not
could.
too late for you.
Well, then I was thinking, I'm like, well, I could be girl boss / lazy girl, because couldn't I lazy girl in my free time?
I don't know what you are what do you mean when you say
I
that?
have a lazy girl job in my free time.
Okay, well, the fact that you have 2 jobs might not make you lazy. But yeah, totally. The fact that is it even possible for you to be a lazy girl with your DNA?
I don't know.
See, like me, my homeostasis is lazy girl.
And now your people have created
A term for me.
a term for
I
you.
feel like I should be like their adult spokesperson.
You should be.
Be like, yes, this is what that can look like.
Yeah.
I'm more of like a lazy lady. Because I'm 20 years older than them. Maybe 25.
Yeah, you're true. You're right. I probably don't have that in my DNA to be lazy. My eyes would be twitching because I'd be like, I'm so bored. I need
Your eyes twitch
stimulation.
when you're bored? I just thought
I'd
when
be
you were
like-
stressed out.
I'd be stressed out from being so bored.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I don't know what issues I have.
No.
Maybe it'll come to me. I was in a vacuum yesterday hiking.
Yes.
And then went straight to work. So it's like I haven't really, even though I was thinking, I actually am just in a very peaceful state right now because yesterday was pretty hard. So I'm just kind of like,
she's got nothing to say.
But I'll tell you all the things I was thinking.
Okay.
Let's see. Let's get the dusty notes out. Ready?
This is like you're on your Threads app, just writing out everything that comes to mind.
Okay, a couple of things I witnessed. Oh, to start off, this runner, like Forrest Gump skinny, like ran. I'm just about to cross into the threshold of the trailhead. This woman's also coming out and she's like, how'd you do? To the runner. He's like, up and back in under an hour.
Oh.
I was like,
he's like, glad you asked.
Everybody else, it's like 4, maybe 3. I didn't finish it, but that's okay. That's not why I'm there. But
do you feel like you're more well-trained than you were before you started?
Like the first time I did it last year?
No, like from yesterday till today. Do you feel more prepared? And like your walk yesterday was worth it?
Indeed.
Okay.
It was enjoyable, actually. I was really bummed I had to turn around.
Oh.
It was really, really fun.
That's newish. You've been so miserable lately.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This one was nice. So the night before, I actually weighed my pack. The one you put on. It was only at 35 pounds.
What? No.
Yeah, my mom has a suitcase weigher.
No.
Yes.
No freaking way. You guys, I put on her pack.
Check my Instagram.
I tipped over. I was about to tip over because it was so heavy.
So I took that hand weight out. So in an effort to be fully prepared for my 4 days in wilderness with just my pack on, Reese Witherspoon, I'm trying to weigh it down as much as I can to practice so that it feels lighter when I take. So I had a hand weight of 12 pounds in there. Lindsay tried it on and it is fairly heavy.
Yeah.
Okay, anyway, so it was only 35 pounds.
Wow.
I know.
That's a heavy 35 pounds.
My mom seems to think it's all the pack.
Yeah.
Maybe the pack's too heavy.
Well,
anyway,
that's your pack.
It is.
That's what you get for farfalutin backpacks.
Far Raven. Okay, so one thing I witnessed as I'm hiking up, there's this woman, and she is like, let's just call her, she's a big girl. And I want to give her credit where credit's due because she was in beast mode. She had those terrible yoga pants on. They were like the shiny polyester-y ones that are like not breathable.
No.
And then she had like a shirt on and like a flannel and like a beanie. She kind of looked like a neutral Where's Waldo. And she like maybe $1.75, and she was hauling ass. And I was like, that's a true beast mode. Coming up the rear, passing me are these 2 like perfect Lulu girls.
Oh.
Mhm. In their little sneaks. Nothing bugs the shit out of me more than people hiking in sneaks.
Well, then we will never be hiking
I'm
together.
just like, don't you worry about it twisting an ankle? What about the rocks jutting out and touching your? And everybody walks in sneakers.
Yeah.
I gotta get over it because it's really annoying, and I'm annoyed every time somebody walks by because I'm like the only person in boots. So I found that lady to be, but don't you know, slow and steady wins the race. I passed those Lulu girls. They had to take a sip of water.
Well, they're also probably doing some content.
They didn't appear to be doing content. The
Oh.
only person that was on their phone the whole time was me. And then I remembered back in the day, before like all my shit settled into like settlement, like I used to think of myself as kind of a badass. I was like sassy and I don't give a fuck, buddy, bah. And like my spirit wasn't broken.
Yeah.
And like I gave 2 fucks on guys. I like fuck around. I was like, I should resurrect that.
Yeah. When was that?
Like high school.
Oh, okay.
Before Colorado.
Gotcha.
Colorado really took the wind out of my sails. Yeah.
Crushed you.
Yeah, kind of kicked me in the baby maker. All right, so one story I want to get to. Well, 2, actually. I'll save the better one for the second half. Okay, so I'm coming back down.
Hey, besties. Do you want to get high naturally? HigherDose is a one-of-a-kind at-home spa experience at the intersection of wellness, health, and beauty. The infrared sauna blanket detoxifies the body and mind with a healthy sweat that boosts your mood. You don't even have to move a muscle, and you can get a full body workout. And it expedites your recovery, makes your skin nice and glowy, and calms down your nervous system. So, with the infrared sauna blanket from HigherDose, it increases your metabolic rate, increases circulation, lowers inflammation, so it makes you a little bit less puffy, strengthens the immune system, quickens your muscle recovery, and it naturally increases your brain's happy chemicals. And happy people don't kill people, as Elle Woods would say. And plus, it's super sleek and portable. Get your HigherDose sauna blanket using our link in our show notes.
You have to understand, when I'm hiking, no different than in yoga, I look like the fucking Unabomber. You guys, I don't look cute. I don't look cute at all. I look like a fucking Unabomber. Like you would be afraid to see me. So, no, I don't have makeup on, but that's not the problem. So I've got my trekking pants, the world's most expensive hiking pants on, my boots, cute. But then I wear my black sweatshirt.
So a couple years ago, we went to LA and San Diego on like a weekend trip.
It was for my over my birthday.
Yeah, for your birthday. And you know those tourist shops where they have the basics sweatshirts where it says San Diego?
It's black and white.
Black and white. That's what we bought. And we bought them in a large so that they're oversized. Yeah. They are the most comfortable hoodies we've ever owned. Like, I don't know where they got them from or like where I can go back to this tourist shop. If I don't think I could find it if I tried.
Oh, I could.
Could you?
Yeah.
Okay. But
it's like right on the edge. So it's like ocean, beach, and then like boardwalk. Right? And then you go right in, and it's literally the very first basic. I mean, they must have been so plush back then.
Oh my God, they were
4
so
years
plush.
old this January, right?
Yep.
So Lindsay got it, and I was like, I want one. So I ran in and got one. Boy, am I glad I did.
Yeah, mine has been. I actually bought 2 of them. I bought one at San Diego and Huntington Beach.
Yeah, but the Huntington Beach one was only because you had to.
Well, now that my husband owns both of them now.
He does?
And I also just bought a new sweatshirt in Breck. He also owns that one now too. Because I always buy them oversized. Oh. And then he was like, oh, this is a nice sweatshirt. Yeah. I think I want this for myself.
That's really cute that you guys just like do that.
We just share.
Yeah. I'm like, I'd be pissed, but then I was like, maybe I would like it.
No, it's cute. And then I can like go grab it if I want to.
Okay. So back on the trail, brown hiking boots, great trekking pants, and then black sweatshirt, and then that like flat brim Artera cap. It's not a bad look. Then you throw on the pack, and I'm hunched over because it's heavy. Sometimes I have headphones in, sometimes I don't. And then sometimes sunglasses. So I legit, and those are like those square ones, like Jeffrey Dahmer ones.
Yep.
So I might not say hi to me. I might not say hello to me on the trail.
I would definitely not say hello to you. And I love to say hello to everyone. But you look like, do not talk to me.
Plus, I look crazy.
Yes.
I look crazy. All right. So I'll get to the good story. All right. So I'm struggling. I'm huffing and puffing. I do have the sweatshirt on. The reason I have the sweatshirt on is because, well, the reason I wear it in yoga is because I don't like to look at myself. And I rather be hot and miserable than stress out about looking at what I think is like a fat body.
Mhm.
And then if I need to like quiet my ADD brain, I throw the hood on and it's like horse blinders where you can only see this much. These are called hacks. If only these hacks to make you look ridiculous. So I have it on yesterday, and my intent to wearing the sweatshirt is because I want to like Rocky Balboa, like really push myself and be overheated
Mm.
to further build my endurance.
That sounds like that's like not something I feel like you should try to overheat yourself on is on a mountain.
Yeah, anyways, it was cool. But
Okay.
I gotta tell you, it was like 70 degrees out and I'm wearing this sweatshirt with
Yeah.
that pack on.
Oh my
And
god.
I'm like, I'm a beast. Actually, it was just too hard to take the pack off, to take the sweatshirt off, to pack
I
it
know,
back
like
in.
once it's on,
And
it's
I was
on.
like, fuck that. Okay. So I was enlightened. I found a new means of getting enlightened. It's just a nice edible.
Nice.
Just a
Okay.
little gummy.
Okay.
Perfect.
Okay, good.
Yeah. I
So, will you
dialed that in.
be using that in your 4-day
Yeah.
track? Okay.
That is just to like make it pleasant.
Yeah. That's something that people don't talk about in those YouTube blogs. Is
Right?
yeah. They're like, "Oh, so we stopped at this campsite and I wore this." Okay, but what kind of drugs are you bringing with you? No one
Love
is
my girl.
talking about that.
So here's my thinking. Edibles, so vape pen is a head high. And you kind of need to keep your wits about you a little bit. Like, I've been struggling in the past where I get lost and stuff like that. And it's just like, that was cute when it was like 2 hours
Mhm.
in Morrison. So not. So this is 4 days. And I was like, and I'm alone. So I was a little too aggressive when I said I'm not going to do anything on the trails. Okay, let's back that up. But a body head to toe high is pleasant.
Mm.
And I'm not like out of it. Just enough where you're just like, it feels like from the neck down, my body's enjoying a wine cooler,
Oh.
a White Claw.
Oh. Pleasant.
Yeah, bubbly,
Yeah. A
effervescent.
little bubbly.
All right, so I don't care if I have a sweatshirt on. I'm like coming up with content, or at least I think I am, because then when I go back and read it, it's all gibberish.
Can we see your notes from?
No, I have to talk it because I
Okay.
can't read and
Gotcha.
walk and talk. It's just too much, and then it doesn't listen, and then I gotta stop. It's such a pain in the ass. Anyway, so I'm taking a break. I am, and I was okay with taking breaks. I'm overlooking a ridge. And my mouth's agape. I don't look picturesque. I'm just like, right? I'm just kind of catching my breath. But there's people down below. And all of a sudden I hear like, badass. Like, and then that guy kind of looking up in this direction, up towards me.
Mhm.
And then the guy, like, and they both have their arms on their hips and they like with their elbows out. I don't know. It's a very serious dance. He's like, seriously. And then I look around. I'm like, who are they talking about? And then I was like, oh, fuck, they're talking about me.
Oh.
And then I ran away. Because I was like, oh, shit, you're talking about me. That's embarrassing. Because here I'm high as fuck. And I'm like, oh, you guys are talking about me. I was just more embarrassed. But the fact that they thought I was a badass.
Yeah.
Because everyone was like, oh, look at you doing it.
I feel like it wasn't a serious hands on the hip. It's like that dad stands hands on the hip, like, huh, look at her. She's a badass.
But they were, totally. I think it was a friendlier statement
Yeah.
than I interpreted, but I was so startled that I ran away. So that did make my day. But I think because I'm wearing the sweatshirt and I've got the pack on, they're like, oh. And all the dudes are like, you good? I'm like, yeah, I'm all right. Don't worry. So I turned back because I was running out of time. I was really disappointed. And like, I don't have a watch or a compass and I didn't do my all trails. And I was like, Chelsea, you're that person, right? So why would you be anything different when you go to Aspen?
Yeah.
Like, just talk to somebody on the trail.
Right.
I'm the person that wants to call and talk about it. Like, I'm just going to go.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out.
You will figure it out. You know what we were doing the other day? We were watching way too many YouTube videos of people on the 4 Pass Trail.
Lindsay was
And
helping me.
there's this one lady, she has never backpacked a day in her life, I don't think. And she's like, yeah, I'm just going to try it out and go for it. And she made it. So that gave me reassurance. I'm like, this lady on YouTube has no clue what she's doing and she could do it.
Okay.
So it's a very well marked trail.
You gotta watch this video. This guy is literally just walking. We said it's like one step away from being like paved.
Yeah, exactly.
The only other thing that it was like annoying on the trail, because sometimes you'll get into annoying things, not very often, but I feel like Aspen's trail is going to be a lot like Formula One racing,
Mm.
where it's like, I'm ahead. No, now you're ahead. Now you're ahead. Now
Oh.
I'm ahead. And like you keep leapfrogging back and
Mhm.
forth because it's like, who's going to go faster? So this older gentleman, he's got like a bandana on, like the American flag. There's maybe a bald eagle and like whatever, like gray hair. He is blasting classical music.
Oof. Put your headphones in.
I know. I think that's really rude.
Yeah, I agree.
So he's like, I stopped. And he was like, "What's with these pants?" And I'm like, "Honest to God, nothing. They just look cool as fuck and you don't need them." So, okay, cool. And then now he's a couple feet, 100 feet ahead of me. And I'm like, what music are we listening to? It's kind of snarky, but it was classical. So I was like, okay, that's fine. And he's like, it's classical, but it's like a Christian station. I was like, that's
Oof.
fine. It's still very lovely. And he's like, would you like to walk together? Oof. He's like, it's okay. I'm married. And I was like, I'm good. He's like, really? I'm like, yeah, no, I'm good. So then he's like, well, we're gonna walk and talk about Christ?
Yeah, no
Get the
kidding.
fuck out of here.
Oh my God.
Ew. Ew.
You're actually now on a mission trip. And you will
To
be
be
converted
baptized.
to Christianity by the end.
Ew. Who's to say I wasn't? So then he's like, well, if anything happens and you need help, just call out Tony, because that's my name. And I was like, I won't need it. He's like, but I'm like, no, Tony, I didn't say his name because I didn't want him to. I was like, no, I'm fine. I don't need your help. And then he's like, further down, he's like, wow, can you hear those motorcycles all the way up here, huh?
Man, this guy's a chatty Cathy.
I was like, fuck off. So now I'm like hustling, running. I'm about to like twist an ankle, bust out a tooth because I'm trying to run away from this guy down the trail. And he's like, it's okay. I'm going to take this low trail road, which is literally the same trail.
Yeah, it's like
They're
you're
just going to merge in and out. I was like, uh-huh. And he's like waiting for me. And I was like, I don't need this right
man.
now. Tony, beat it. I lost him. So I just hung back and like let him just do his thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I was like, don't be annoyed. This is just a moment in time.
People are just trying to be friendly.
Well, I'm not against being friendly anymore, right? Oh, one thing I did do. So I felt bad. There was this foursome. It might have been the same. They were like mid 20 somethings, late 20s. And it was the same two that said, wow, she's a badass. They were ahead. And then their couple friend. Well, the girl in the back was bringing up the rear. And she was a really good pacer. So I was like walking with her. Well, this poor girl, I was stressing her the fuck out, right? Because now she set the pace, but now I'm following the pace.
Yeah.
And she's like, and I'm holding her to it. And I was like, this is a really good pace, by the way. I appreciate it. And she was like, finally, she was like, I want to stop, to her boyfriend, which really means just like get her off my tail.
Yeah.
But I needed it because like, you're good. I'm with them. I'm right behind them. And then they always just seem to take off. And I'm always like falling behind. Whatever. It's fine.
It's fine.
So that was me making friends on the trail.
Yay.
There was another story. But
you know
go
how
ahead.
like people have been really mean to me for no reason lately?
Oh, I do know that. I've witnessed it a couple of times.
Yeah.
Is it churning around?
It's turning around.
Okay, good. It's your new hair. Thanks for getting it.
It must be my new hair because today I went to Starbucks and I had Layla with me like I always do.
Oh.
And usually most people are like, oh my gosh, she's so cute. Like, can I say hi? I'm like, of course. Her name's Layla. She's 7 years old. Yeah, she's a Bernese Mountain Dog. That's the spiel. And then they pet her and they say bye. But today, this lady was extra, extra friendly to me. And I'm going to take it because people have been bitches to me lately.
Yeah.
For literally no reason. So I'm sitting there with Layla and this lady comes up to me. She's like, is she an Akita? I'm like, nope. She's
blind.
She's a Bernese Mountain Dog. She's like, oh my gosh, let me show you my babies. So she pulls out her phone and she's like, I have 2 dogs. They're 2 chocolate labs. Can't remember their names. And she's like, and they just got married. I'm like, oh, wow. She pulls out her phone And there's, like, a video on her phone that's, like, 20 minutes long, and she starts to play it.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes. And I'm like, "Oh, wow,
This is
cute.
happening right now.
Okay." And she's like, "Yeah, look, look, like, my husband walked her down the aisle. Oh my gosh, look, look, look. Chewy, $80 for the tuxedo and for
Oh
the
my
and for
god.
the veil." I'm like, "Worth the $80."
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, yeah, for
And
sure.
she's like, "Okay, look, look, look." She kinda fast forward. She's like, and she held the phone up to my ear so I could hear them doing their vows.
Oh my god.
And then she pulled it back, and I was like, "Oh my god, that's adorable." And she's like, "Okay, okay, look. Oh, look. Oh," and then it was just, like, the dog's, like, sitting there waiting. I was like,
For cake.
yeah, I'm like, "So do they, like, kiss at the end?" She's
Yeah.
like, "They do." And, like, the big boy was, like, slobbering all over the little dog's face. They're 2 chocolate labs, but one is much bigger than the other.
Oh my god.
And I was like, "How old are they?" And she's like, "They're like, well, right now they're 2 and 3.5." I'm like, "They are child brides just like me."
Funny.
Yeah. I was like, "Oh my gosh, adorable." And the whole time I'm thinking, I'm like, "When is my drink coming?"
And I liked it better when people were bitchy.
Yeah.
You can't have it all the way.
I know. I'm like, it's either bitches or like, I am now watching a 3-minute video of your dogs getting married.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah.
So if you ask me why am I why am I doing this 4-day hike,
Mhm.
it's to get my shit in check.
Okay.
Yeah, I
Like,
feel like my personality needs a reboot.
oh,
I feel like it's getting a little like yeah. I said it in my story yesterday. This is literally my ex like ayahuasca trip.
yeah.
I was like, well, that's cool. Why didn't I reframe this shitty into pretty?
Am I a wags?
Yeah,
Yeah.
of course you are. And in your story, I'm Wags.
Yeah.
You know how I feel about X.
Mhm.
So I was like, oh, if I do enough drugs at night, this is totally that.
It's totally fine.
Yeah. I just thought, I have a, like, under the layer, the sublingual, what's it called? The
The
skin?
subcutaneous?
Yeah, thanks.
Mhm.
Is bitch. A
Oh.
solid, nasty bitch. Like, I'm mean.
Oh.
I have a mean, steely constitution.
Oh, a mean core.
Kinda. And it's pretty good all the time, but, like, I feel like this is gonna, like every year you probably just need a reboot,
Yeah, I feel that. Mhm.
right? And it's just like, where I just come back with a fresh perspective.
Mhm.
Yeah, so that's why I'm doing this, because I have a tendency to be nasty.
You're gonna hike the nastiness right out of you.
That's right.
I should say backpack.
The You're funny as shit today.
Well, you guys, that's everything that's happened to us
Yeah.
since the last time we chatted. So
Yeah.
this is literally what all of our conversations are like.
Yeah, that's
So
why we keep doing this.
yeah, make sure that you get in on the conversation. Follow us at So Fired Pod on Instagram. Share this episode with your bestie, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.
Disclaimer. This podcast is for entertainment purposes only. The stories and statements expressed herein are experiences and opinions. They may not represent the views of the production studio or the hosts. If you disagree with our content, that's okay. No podcast is perfect for everyone.